Russian Leather Eau de Parfum version by the House of Molton Brown. This one here is one of my absolute favorites, and I'm gonna do something in this review that I don't generally like to do. I'm gonna make this review basically just kind of for myself because I love the fragrance so much. Why do I not usually do that? Because I'll be honest with you, this stuff is impossible to find in North America, which is where I know most of you guys watching are located. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time hyping this up because, like I said, it's just not easily accessible in North America right now. So I hate to make a video basically just preaching this stuff to only the European audience, because as far as I know right now, you can only find it in Europe. So because of those reasons, I am doing this more so just as kind of like a review for myself because I love this so much and I feel like it needs to be talked about because there's not a whole lot of hype surrounding this, but it's one of the most amazing fragrances I've ever smelled. So I hope you enjoy the review. Stick around for this one. Hey everybody, welcome back to Real Scent Review. This is Joe, your host. Consider liking this video if you enjoy it, and also if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really appreciate it if you did. This one here, like I said in the introduction, really hard to find in North America. It can be done. You could always just order it from Europe and it would ship to North America or wherever else. But this is already not a cheap fragrance, and the shipping would add, a lot of additional cost to that. But like I said, I'll leave that decision up to you. If at the end of this review you feel like it's something that you really want to try, it can be done. So, but again, this is not going to be super appealing to everybody. This is more so for people who are really serious about collecting and they enjoy fragrances for the art of it, as opposed to just wanting to be mass appealing, for example. Anyway, this is Molton Brown's Russian Leather Eau de Parfum concentration. This one came out in 2019, and it was made as kind of an improvement for their Russian Leather Eau de Toilette version, which was good. However, it had some performance issues, wasn't very strong, projection wasn't great, and it didn't last very long on the skin. So this is their answer to that. Molton Brown is a company from London, England, and they're known for manufacturing their soaps, body washes, and candles. So they've only sort of delved into the fragrance industry recently. This one here, Russian Leather Eau de Parfum concentration, absolutely one of my favorites of all time. It's in my top 5. When I get around to doing my top 5 favorites video, this will absolutely be included in that. So without any further ado, let's get into this presentation here. I want to first go over the box. I think the box is just uber classy. This is one of my favorite boxes that I have in my collection. As you can see here, it's cardboard, hard cardboard, and it's kind of textured here. Kind of looks like a honeycomb style pattern there. Very smooth. Interesting, yeah. So it pops up just like this. Very nice here, as you can see. I'm really a fan of this box. And the bottle itself too is just really classy looking. On the top part, it's metallic. On the bottom part, it's semi-transparent glass with a brownish black sort of hue to it. Now this bottle cap is just super cool. It's plastic, but it's made to look like marble, right? Marble stone. I think it's just a really nice bottle cap here. Snaps into place. I'm gonna go ahead and waste a spray here. Yeah, right from the beginning, it just reminds me how much I love this one. So the official note breakdown is the following. In the top, elemi, bergamot, black pepper. In the middle, Siberian pine, birch, geranium, lavender. And in the dry down, leather, vetiver, cade oil, amber, and vanilla. So the official note breakdown would lead one to believe that there's a lot going on here, like super complex. And while it is somewhat complex, it's still reasonably simple, I would say. It's not something that's totally out of the realm of normal. Again, I feel like the official note breakdowns that you find on company websites and review websites are not, almost always are inaccurate, at least to a certain extent. So what I actually detect in this, in the top, I get Siberian pine, birch, and geranium. In the mid, I get pine, incense, and vetiver. And in the dry down, I get some leather, and there's definitely some cade oil there as well. So that's what I actually detect. Like I said, it's far less complicated than what the official notes would have you believe. But it's done in such a way, it's dark, yet it's uplifting. I've never been to Siberia. I don't know what a Siberian pine is supposed to smell like specifically, but I'll tell you, I am from a place called Nova Scotia in Canada, where it also gets very cold in the wintertime, and we have a lot of pine trees there. This scent reminds me of my childhood, essentially. It reminds me of being in a pine forest in the dead of winter with smoke around. It's absolutely evocative of childhood memories, and I'm sure that plays a part in why I love this so much. It's very sentimental, and the quality is insanely good. This is just, like I said, it's one of my favorites. So, it starts off very, of course, there's pine and woody notes, and there's incense. So it's a smoky incense. Now you can detect, it's not just a smoke note in the beginning. It's actually an incense. Kind of reminds me vaguely of a churchy incense, although not quite as strong. And in the middle here, there's the geranium. It mixes with the vetiver in such a way that it gives it a slightly old-fashioned kind of feel to it. Like if you remember shaving creams, the vetiver mixed with the geranium gives off a slight, shave creamy accord. Although it's not what I would call an old man scent, but I definitely think this combines elements of old school perfumery with modern perfumery. Very strong, very rugged, very unmistakably masculine. Superbly blended. And as this goes dying down, the incensey note turns into more of a pure smoky note, like something you get from a campfire, for example. And I believe that is because of the cade oil. Cade oil comes from, essentially it's the juniper berry. They crush that down, they break it down, and they make a concentrated oil from it. And it gives off a kind of tarry, smoky, ever so slightly piney, coniferous type of scent. So I think that's responsible for the smoke that I get, in the dry down here. So I'll get on here to the bad news. It's expensive. It's 130 euros right now. I mean, I got this a couple of years ago when it was less expensive than that. I think it was about 100 euros back when I bought it. Anyway, so it has increased in price. This is something that I have looked at all of the American or North American discount websites, and I cannot find this anywhere. The eau de parfum concentration. You can find the eau de toilette concentration on certain websites, but it's not the same. This eau de parfum is much better, better rounded, deeper, richer, fuller. The performance is much better than the eau de toilette. It's just really hard to find in North America, and even here in Europe, it's not the easiest fragrance to find. But like I said before, if you are serious about collecting, even if you're in North America, you can order this, get it shipped to North America. If you're serious about collecting, if you like fragrances that are in the same vein as, for example, Zagorsk by Comme des Garçons, or even Russian Leather by Memo Paris, those two fragrances are in the same ballpark as this. Although I think, This is much less expensive than Memo Paris's Russian leather, and I think the quality is just as good. I would much rather buy this than Russian leather. And as far as the Zagorsk by Comme des Garçons, again, that's one of my favorite scents of all time as well. But it's just so light, and the performance is not good on it, considering what you're paying. You're paying the same for that almost as you would for this. And Zagorsk is even harder to find nowadays. So really, all things considered, I think this Molton Brown Russian leather eau de parfum is just the best bet. Absolutely. So the versatility, I wouldn't say it's for beginners. It's intense. It's very piney, woody, and smoky for the majority of it. And the geranium mixed with the vetiver I can see a lot of younger guys disliking this because it does give off, vague impressions of kind of like a shaving cream style. Although, like I said, that's not what it's all about. That's just a small component of an otherwise very awesome fragrance, So, but having said that, it's not, I don't think younger collectors are going to enjoy this one. I think this is for a gentleman who's experienced in perfumery, who knows, who has smelled a lot of things before. It's so different than mainstream colognes. Like, this has nothing to do with, the blue fresh fragrance wave. It has nothing to do with the cold weather gourmands either. This is really in its own category. I think it's very special. So if you're a person who likes things like that, absolutely, by all means, go pick this up because you won't regret it. It's amazing in every way. The performance is great, longevity, 8-9 hours on my skin. The projection is mean. It's rough and loud for the first 2 hours, so very good, especially for cold weather only, I think. And, the sillage is also very heavy. 45 minutes after you spray this, it'll be hanging around in the air. It leaves a very distinct scent trail. There's nothing, other fragrances that I've mentioned, for example, come close to this in terms of scent composition, but nothing really mimics this 100%. It's special. It's in its own category. So yeah, versatility. It's on the mature side, yes. It's loud. Wouldn't want to wear this for close quarters meetings. I would not consider it office safe. This is something that I would wear only in cold weather. In fact, when you step outside on a cold winter night, the way the cold air interacts with this fragrance, it makes the incense note mix with the pine, and it just makes it lift off your skin in such a beautiful way that I have never smelled from any other fragrance. The cold weather, this is absolutely meant for the cold weather. It really comes into its own. In fact, I think cold weather is absolutely required in order for this to shine to its maximum potential. So, like I said, I definitely, this is not one for the club. This is one for, I think, sentimental moments when you want to wear a fragrance for yourself, when you're not concerned about mass appeal. Although this does not smell bad in any way. In fact, I actually have received compliments, surprisingly. Although that's not the reason why I wear this particular fragrance. I admit, I like receiving compliments. I think everybody does. If I'm wanting to get compliments from strangers, I'd wear a mass appealing fragrance because that's just what most people like. This one is something that you wear for yourself when you want to maybe reminisce or do some deep thinking. Also, if you're doing outdoor activities at nighttime in the winter, I think you can get away with wearing this in any situation like that. Yeah, and also formal events. It leans formal. You could wear this in any formal event, I would think. And for any serious collector, I think this is a must-have for your collection. This is really stunning. You're going to stand out, and it's beautiful. It's pensive. A lot of other adjectives I could use, but yeah, point is, it's really special. I love it. It's always going to hold a special place in my heart, and I can't recommend this one enough. So guys, that's been my review of Molton Brown's Russian Leather Eau de Parfum. Hope you've enjoyed. Until next time, keep it real.